of stuff. All sorts of stuff. Lots of stuff. There will be very little whatnots, but there will be suches. Bender? Have a good
Hells.
week. Bender?
Hells.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up, man?
I spent yet another weekend outside burning trees and stuff like all weekend.
So, do you have like just massive piles of ash, or is it just disintegrating out into nothing?
No, it pretty much disintegrates. So there's piles that of mulch that we push together, and we try to keep the dirt out of it because when there's a
Hmm.
bunch of dirt in there, then it just turns into like a freaking oven, right? And it just sits there and smolders.
Hmm.
So those ones they they smolder for days. But the piles that are clean, that are just trees and branches and stuff, they burn down pretty quick, and
Uh,
like down to nothing. And then we just keep
Very
feeding it.
nice. So I had probably my first adventure with the concrete this
Yeah.
weekend, trying to fix some stuff.
What were you
I
fixing?
was well, yeah, so I took the red nozzle on the pressure washer last weekend, and I kind of did a
Right.
hole in the side of the house. So there was that, but then we had a pressure wash area around it, so I was benched from that. Lady took that away from me. She says I'm an idiot, can't do that. And then with the concrete, so mix it all up. I didn't realize that concrete is toxic. I didn't know
You
this.
didn't
I
know
didn't know.
this?
I did not know you needed to wear a mask. I didn't know that you needed to wear gloves. Didn't know that you needed to do all this kind of stuff. And so I was watching the videos on the YouTube, and they just slap it. They just slap it on. They just take it, throw it against the wall, and then just smear it on in. So apparently you have to do more than just slap it. Take
Uh
it and
huh.
slap it up against the wall. It doesn't work the way it does in the videos. Um, so I had some learnings going on this weekend. Um, the lady doesn't have any fingerprints anymore, so she's having problems getting into her phone because of her fingerprint won't recognize.
Well,
So yeah,
maybe there's
that
certain
was my
things that you
weekend.
just shouldn't take on. I mean, we've talked about this, but
We've talked about this, we have, but it's like there's certain things. It's like, but you watch the video and they just slap it on. They just slap it. They just throw it and it sticks, and then they smear it, and then there you go. There you have it. It's done. I think there's a little bit more to that. That obviously was not in that video, or maybe I didn't watch the full video all the way through. I don't know. I'm not real sure. Anyways, so that's that. Um, Speaking of slapping things on, because we're in a slappish kind of mood, the market seems to be slapping on fear. The media seems to be slapping on the fear. Um, 10-year over 3.5, I believe. Markets look like shit. Everything looks like shit. Uh, Narrative is Fed going to kill us all. Fed is not only going to kill Americans, but they're going to do their best to drive the global economy into the ground. Every headline that you read or every article, the through line always comes back to the strength of the dollar. Dollar so strong, dollar so strong, dollar so strong. Dollar will only get stronger as we raise rates. So the ultimate question is where is that breaking point? Where is it? Where's the breaking point? Where does that stop? Because overall, usually when you start talking about hitting in walking into a global recession, you start walking into a horrible situation like everybody wants to paint that we're in now. People are unemployed. People are losing their jobs. People have no monies. Um, we're not there yet, but if that's the plan to get us there, we're on a really good path to getting us to the point to where people's savings have been eliminated and their credit debt is absolutely through the roof. We are absolutely moving in a very strong direction in order to achieve these things, Bender.
well, once everybody's money's gone, nobody can afford to buy any stocks, then we go up. Isn't that the way it
You
works?
know, well, is that the way it works? I don't know. It's like the market is a forward-looking instrument, right? So whatever they think today is, they're buying and selling based on what, 16, 18 months out?
I don't know what the, you know,
It's like, so it's like,
how far ahead is it forward
and
looking?
and
I
if
don't know.
and if you and if you say that, then you have to say that a lot of this shit is priced in. Nothing has changed since Jackson Hole. Nothing has changed. Not a damn thing has changed. Nothing. 75 basis points still on the table. Everybody wants to pump a full percentage. Everybody wants to talk about that. Everybody wants to be like, oh no, they're gonna go for the gorilla kill. They're gonna do 1.25. They're gonna go for it. We don't know. What I do know with my idiot brain and my positioning is going to be with the idiot brain. Um, Idiot brain says that if you've been short, you don't want to be short. And right now, going into a binary event, if you've been short and you've stayed short and you don't have any upside protection, you are offsides going into Fed if indeed 0.75 has already been priced in. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm feeling it. Saw about $10 quadrillion worth of bits I put on Apple on Friday. Real curious to see how that's going to play out, and they've been nickel and diming back into semis over the last several days. So that's how I see what I see. That's how I'm going to play what I'm going to play, unless I see something different. So,
Uh,
with this being said, Cinder, tell us about the lines, horizontal and vertical. Oh, and the other thing, I had to mention this. How are you going to tell me to do some commenting and such and whatnot, and I do the commenting and such and whatnot, and you just ghost out on the Twitter machine? Cinder, what
I
say you?
responded this morning. I
Oh,
didn't.
you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
When I sent you that, like I said, I was out at the ranch all weekend. But
got
I
it.
did post the charts with the lines that I was talking about. I posted them this morning.
Okay. Well, you need to be a little bit more on tact with these things. You need
Well,
to you need to have the follow
see, you were
through.
too slow initially.
Dude, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning when I got your
Well, I
message.
sent it much earlier than that. So
Right on, right
I don't
on.
know what to
All
tell
right.
you.
So tell us about the suches and whatnots.
Okay, so we're currently sitting 38.63 half. Um, Overnight, I'll start with this. Overnight inventory 100% short. So, as we've talked about in the past, if we come in 100% long, even in an uptrend day, it's not uncommon for us to see, a pullback in the first, say, 20 minutes, as some of that starts to come off and reposition. So we're 100% short, so it's not, uncommon for us to see some of that come off early and for us to get a bounce or make a little move up before determining, what the trend is going to be. Um, so we're 38.63 as far as levels above go. 38.75 is the 20 MA on the 60 minute. 38.85 is at previous level support, and it was the 1618 extension from the CPI drop. And then 38.95, so it's every 10 handles. 38.95 is the 50 MA on the 60 minute. And if we get that, 3,900. I mean, 38.95 or 38.99 was the overnight high. And obviously, that would be that whole number 3,900. So I think as far as upside goes, if we get above that 20 MA on the 60 minute, then we look at which 38.75. Then we kind of look at 3,900. If we get above that, 39.22 is the 5 MA on the daily. Levels below, 38.53 was Friday's low. 38.46 was the overnight low. And then we've got the much longer term trend line support comes in at 38.22. If we get below that, then we target 3,800. I think for me, setting up the day, if I'm going to pick a line that I say, I want to see what it does at this line above or below, If we can maintain above 38.50, then I think we've got a shot at reclaiming some of the drop over the last couple days below 38.50, and we're probably looking, I'd say 38.30, but really probably looking at that 38.22 trendline support.
All right. Well, there you have it, everybody. We're gonna do stuff.
There you have
Sounds
it.
like, honestly, if I were to analyze what you just said, we're gonna trade sideways, based on what you just said. I would.
I don't think trading sideways necessarily has anything to do with what I just said. I think we could make a directional move, especially after some of the chop that we're also. This is let's see. I have to go look, and now I didn't look this morning to see cycle days what we are in, but I don't know if we go sideways or not. But like I said, I think if we
Well,
start
from
to
what you
make
described, it was basically a tug of war with a fairly tight range, unless we get over a couple of levels and provide trend.
yeah.
It's like, so that to me is kind of tug of war in my evaluation means sideways, but that's me in my brain. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't know what to say about this. It's like I just feel like we're waiting for Wednesday, and everything else is fairly inconsequential between
Well,
now and
yeah,
then.
that you know that's definitely a good point. Is that when we're trading leading into some sort of data, or like as we know, as we lead up to that, a lot of times we get an initial move or some increased volatility, and then as it gets closer, it just starts getting quieter
Hmm.
and quieter and quieter until it like flatlines.
Yeah, and it's like, again, I'll go ahead and stick to what I believe. It's like we have priced in a 0.75 rate increase. 0.75 or below, and the market will rally. Anything above that, and we're talking about a completely different conversation.
Yep.
Some of this shit has to be priced in. Some of it. I don't know what. Some of it. All right. Stockington, what you got for us, buddy?
Hello, I'm here. Morning. Yeah, let's see. I put some new levels. The big thing Friday after the close was dark pool everywhere. Everybody got a dark pool. And so I put that on the list, but we have a little bit of drift down, so slight adjustments. Tesla, the big one, came in Friday after the close at 303.35. A little over $1 billion is going to be sitting there, so that'll be an important line if we're going to go up. See what Tesla's going to do up there. I did also have this line at 302.05 that we'll have to cross that get to reach those dark pools, so that'll be something I'll be watching. And then if we're going to go to the downside, this 297.8 ish area that worked as pre-market support today. Also worked as pre-market support Friday, so I think that'll be an important line to keep an eye on. Amazon is now smashed in between two massive dark pools. So 122.1 came in during market hours. That's $770 million sitting there. That came in during Friday. And then 123.53, which it did wick down off of, came in $766 million Friday after the close. Apple hit it with $1.6 billion at 150.7. That was after the close. So if we're going to go up, I want to see what Apple's going to do with that line. If we're going to go down, I'll be watching Apple at 148.7. Otherwise, we'll see if we get Sun's post. He's really good about tracking these. Penn, not one I'm usually watching, but there was a lot of dark pool Friday after the close on that one. So worth checking the historical. And then that came in on pen at 30.56. SPY smack between two phantom prints down here. 385.12 is above. 382.01 kind of bounced off that pre-market. But that's all I got.
All right. So let's talk about some of the data we have coming out. Tomorrow we get building permits. Today we get, I guess in about an hour, we get housing market index. It's not a big mover. Building permits could be interesting tomorrow. It could be, because again, it's like everything is dollar based. So the dollar moves down, maybe equities have a chance to move up. Maybe it's like, I think everybody's a little bit confused on what we're cheering for. If you're a bull, and what you're cheering for, if you're a bear, whether or not good data is good or bad or whatever it may be. Nobody fucking knows. It's just whatever they feel like firing off of. Canada also gets CPI tomorrow before the open. Again, that's inflation. And we have ECB speakers scattershot throughout the week that are sounding off. Wednesday, obviously, we know the big game. That's Powell. We also get existing home sales at the same time. So on Wednesday, there's very little data before the open. But once the day gets open, we do have that. And then we do have Powell throughout and a lot of crap throughout that period of time on Wednesday. Wednesday is everything. I think the smartest thing to probably do is to create as much powder as you possibly can going into Wednesday, and then seeing how that decision shakes out and being able to capitalize on it one way or the other. That appears to probably be the most conservative stance to take, is to have as much dry powder as you possibly can, play the moves intraday, and then let Wednesday, Thursday decide. The other thing that I'll say about that is we've seen reversals on Fed days on several occasions. We get either big rips or big dips that are either bought or sold within the next 24 hours at a absolutely ludicrous pace. So even Wednesday being what it is, it's usually that Thursday midday that gives us direction as far as which way do we go, which way do we go. Not saying to play it that way. I'm just going back and looking at the last several rate decisions and Fed minute releases as far as what the market reaction has been. It's like, what is their reality within the moment usually fades within 24 hours as far as what that reality actually is. So that's all I got. Bender, Stockton, you guys have anything else?
No, nothing for me.
No. All right. Well, that's the setup. If anybody has any questions, please go ahead and ask them in text. If anybody has any ideas or charts they'd like to post, please do so. We have 21 minutes until open. 21 minutes till open. Let's get comfortable. See you guys soon.
See you in a few.